All right. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me yet again. Let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, very good. All right, appreciate it. So, Adobe, Prep to Adapt, Mr. Landfill, Flown Grown, Renee, Maria, Beef and Chicken, Adam, Joe, Alco Prepper, thank you to 5x5, Tom Tom, Rat, Rhonda, Ekte, Evolving, Lexi, Groundhog, Anthony, thank you to 5x5, Dan, Raccoon, Laura, Bite F you all, Wallace, Chair, Kate, thank you to 5x5, Patty, thank you to 5x5, Streetwise, thank you for the glowing by glowing, Kathy, Master Blaster, Crow, Mackenzie, what's going on? Thank you for the 5x5. Prep to Adapt and Cool Kid, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Brian, J Ross, thank you for the 5x5. Did I get your fan? No, I didn't get my fan because they're playing video games inside. Let's go. PA, Mama Bear, thank you for the 5x5. WTC, thank you for 5x5. I didn't think to run inside to get it. I'm like, I'm already fucking glistening, so I might as well just fucking sit here and glisten some more. Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5. All right. So this is not going to be as long. Why? Because it's hot. Also, I have to do some videos. So I will keep this short, probably about 15 minutes, maybe 20. But today or tonight on the Angry Truth channel, we're going to talk about this whole nonsense with Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Donald Trump, the Mr. E list, right? The client list. All of this nonsense, guys, is out of control. And the crazy thing is, I saw something with the Biden administration. I saw something when Trump first got into office, then he left, then the Biden administration was in office, then he left, then Biden came back in, and I saw people become drones. For everyone who follows Obama, who followed Trump, Biden, Trump, these people are drones. I've never seen a group of people scream, yell, shake their fist when Biden was sitting on the Mr. E list, Epstein's list. These people were just like, you got to release it, you coward, this, that. They call him all kinds of names. And then the Democratic Party was quiet as far as that list being released. Most of them were quiet, not all of them, but most of them were quiet. They were like, let's just leave that alone. Then Trump on his campaign is screaming and yelling about, we're going to release this list. We're going to make sure that Mr. E list gets out to the public so the public knows who's on it. Then all of a sudden, fucking Elon Musk is in Donald Trump's office doing retarded Elon Musk shit. And I'm like, why is this dude in there? They get into a fallout. Elon Musk turns around and goes, you are on the Epstein list. Now all of a sudden, the Epstein list doesn't exist. Both sides were treating this list, and I told you guys that client list was radioactive. It was a radioactive list. No one really wants to touch it because these people probably looked at it, and this list has to be long, and it's definitely digital. It's not this fictitious paper list that people are going around and saying it is. Because if it's a paper list, it's got to be thick, right? So this list is digital, and it's been copied 1,000 times. So there's no such thing as getting rid of this list. You can't get rid of this list. This list is forever. It's imprinted on fucking a lot of computers. That being said, now all of a sudden, the Trump people who fucking hated Biden, hated Kamala Harris, hated Obama, are sitting there turning around and going, oh, the list doesn't exist. You know why it doesn't exist? Because Trump said so. When Trump sat there and said, I didn't meet with Epstein, once I found out what kind of guy he was, I walked away from him. No, you fucking didn't. You knew this man for 15 years. 15 years. They were friends. He bragged about this years ago, well before he even thought about running for mayor. President. So now he knows him. I think he might have known him longer or whatever. It's not the point. So now all of a sudden, because Trump says some shit, people believe whatever he says. Because Biden says some shit, people believe whatever he says. Here's how sick both parties are, both sides are. People believe that Biden didn't have any cognitive issues. Why? Because his administration said so. And people said, no, he doesn't have it. Trump does. Trump stumbled or stammered once or a couple times on his words. A couple of times. He stammers on his words, and people are like, oh, he's got cognitive disorder. I stammer a lot on here. Do I have cognitive disorder? Am I suffering from Alzheimer's? Am I going to walk off this video right now and go get ice cream and forget to come back? No. So he does that, and the left is like, oh, he has cognitive disorder. Meanwhile, we watched Biden have the most absent-minded events on TV ever. Walking away, couldn't find his way off stage. His wife had to guide him off a few times. And then people like, oh, and then his administration goes, oh, he doesn't have cognitive disorder. And people go, he doesn't have it. The Biden followers. And then the administration, Biden's administration go, no, Trump does. Look when he stammers. Right here, he stammered on his words. And then because, listen, my mother, she's a fucking liberal. And she sits there and believes everything she's told. She said, oh, Trump has cognitive disorder. I said, wait a minute. I said, Biden doesn't? She goes, no, he doesn't. I'm like, Biden was behaving just like my father did before he got sick. He got fully sick. The same exact way. And I'm like, you're going to deny that he has any issues when you just dealt with it for 5-6 years? She's like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, because they told her he didn't, she believed it. And partially because of her hate for Trump and because she's retarded, this is why she follows them. And the same goes for the Trump followers. I don't want to say MAGA followers because that Trump followers. Trump says the list doesn't exist, and now they're all saying the same shit. Most of them are saying the same shit. Sorry. At least a lot of you guys on here are going, I'm done with him. Because he turned on us. He turned away from what he said he was going to do. Yes, guys, the administrations are always going to give you a bone. They're always going to give you a bone. They'll throw a bone at us and they'll make us believe they're doing right by us by throwing us a bone. Oh man, did you see what Trump did? He closed the border down. Well, he was fucking supposed to do that. That's not a fucking check mark of accomplishments. You're supposed to do that. You said you're going to do it, now go and do it. Now, Trump does some crazy shit like, I don't know, pardons Nat Turner, for example, right? I mean, that's a far thought, but if he does some black leader, he pardoned him for no reason, then fine. That's some out-of-the-world shit. But when you stick by what you were supposed to do, that doesn't make it an all-out accomplishment. When the Biden administration says they're going to do X, Y, and Z, you made a promise. You're supposed to do that. We're not supposed to look at them and go, oh my God, these are great people, because they said they were supposed to do this. If I tell you I'm going to do something and I do it, that doesn't make me a great person. That makes me a man of my word at best. But it doesn't put me on a higher echelon. It doesn't put me on a different plane. And by the way, guys, the only ice cream is cookies and cream. Fuck everything else. So, maybe vanilla with a hot brownie, but that's it. So we sit here, guys, the human race, the morons that we are, we follow people because they tell us to. People follow Biden, Obama, and Kamala Harris because they were told to. They were told to hate Trump and follow these people, and they did. Kamala Harris, who was the worst vice president in the history of vice presidency, was low rating when coming to running for vice president the second time around. She was the lowest rating vice president to ever walk the planet. Ever. Then they tried to fudge her numbers a little bit to make her like she was a little more wanted than she was. Then this bitch goes, I'm running for president because Biden isn't. And because Biden stepped down and the Biden administration said, pick her. Pick that bitch over there. People goes, we will pick that bitch over there. Like drones. And they did. And all of a sudden she was popular? The fuck out of here. Because people are drones. Society today, guys, will follow whatever they're fucking told to do. Period. They're told to like Trump, they're going to like him. Trump fucking says the list doesn't exist. The list doesn't exist, guys. They sat there and said, oh, Mr. E didn't kill himself. And then the Biden followers are like, guess what? I guess he's right. Because Dan Bongino's a man of his words. No, the fuck he isn't. He's a government simp. Fuck that dude. And you see what Dan Bongino looks like now? All stressed out and shit, ready to resign? The fuck out of here. Everybody, guys, follows people because they are told. Everybody who follows these political animals, You are part of the problem because you're A, voting these people in, B, supporting these people, and then C, covering for them or explaining for them when they fuck up. We don't need this kind of cover up. We don't need this kind of shit. We need to take the country back. That's the only way. The tunnel Jews won't let the list get published. Flown grown. Yeah, that's another thing. People keep bringing up the whole tunnel Jew shit. And everybody's like, well, what tunnel? And then you bring it up, you're like, oh, that's right. That did go away. Of course it went away. There were definitely some missing kids in there somewhere. But you know what they did with that tunnel? They backfilled it with cement. They didn't get any, from what I was told, they got no permits to backfill that hole with cement. Zero. They just did it. And after they did it, the NYPD who was investigating that tunnel goes, oh, well, that was their fucking answer to those tunnels being flooded. Meanwhile, they got pictures of the shit they found in there, and those pictures are pretty much all gone. Now, there's some on the internet that people are still hoarding away. If you have those pictures, save them and remind these fucking people that those filthy animals in Brooklyn were definitely diddling kids out there, without a doubt. But they backfill it with cement, gone. Yes, anti-Semitic. The good one, Nomad. It was one of the biggest cover-ups, in-your-face cover-up. They didn't even hide it. They didn't even like, shh, we're going to do this on the side. They did it out in the open, and no one said anything. Not one politician stepped to the plate and was like, whoa, you mean to tell me we had blood-stained mattresses and chairs and ground mats in there, and no one's questioning that? So they backfilled the tunnel with cement, and that's it? No one's being held accountable for that, and every politician should be held accountable for that. Eric Adams, what's his name? Not Biden. What the fuck's that Italian asshole's name that was eating pizza with a fork and knife? De Blasio. They should be held accountable. Every last politician in that district should be held accountable. When you bring it up, everybody goes, oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Believe it or not, you can still do something about it. You can still investigate it. But they don't want to investigate it. And again, guys, this was in your face. This was in the news. Now, a lot of people didn't know that they backfilled it with cement. People were like, well, what happened to the tunnels? I'm here to tell you it's backfilled with cement. I can go to that very spot and show you guys that there's cement there now. They flooded it with cement. Now, they flooded a lot of things with cement here in New York City, by the way. There was a lot of, for example, illegal speakeasies underground backfilled with cement. There were illegal whiskey-making facilities in the Bronx backfilled with cement. There were grave sites, slaves and Irishmen, and other people backfilled with cement. It's what we do here. When you don't want the truth to come out, you backfill it with cement. It all goes away. But again, nobody's doing anything about it. Diddy getting off on this shit that he got off on? He probably had a couple Jews at his party. That's why he got away with it. People like, oh, it's not just, it is. It's the Hasids out in Brooklyn that are doing this shit. There were cops that got into a fist fight on camera with them, and not one Jew got arrested out of that whole thing. Not one Hasidic Jew got arrested. Fist fighting on camera with a cop, and nothing happened. Now, why isn't anybody holding them accountable? Meanwhile, I park my car on the street. I don't have a front license plate, and I get a ticket. But these people can diddle kids, have their way with them, and then backfill the hole with cement. And God knows how many other tunnels they have around that area. They have a ton of tunnels in that area. There's not just one. That was the one that they found. But there are more. Where are they? Yeah, yes, but she's not Hasidic. Yo, I'll be the first to throw them right under the bus in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. These people in Brooklyn are doing this shit out in the open. Again, how do you get away with backfilling a tunnel that had evidence of kids being diddled? But they backfill it. And listen, there are regular Jews that are like, what the fuck is that? How's that all right? You know, and listen, people were pissed about that, but no one wants to answer it. And when you bring it to their attention, they act like this shit doesn't exist. Right? They're like, what do you mean? What tunnels? What? You know? And not one politician is bringing that up as they're running for mayor. They're just getting away with it. It's enough, man. It's enough that this shit goes down and nothing is being done. Now, yes, could I fucking sit there and write letters upon letters and stand outside of City Hall about what about the tunnels in Brooklyn? They're just going to ignore me. Now, unless I do some shit that was like Turk 182, the movie, unless I start doing some crazy shit like that, then even then I'm going to get arrested for trespassing off the George Washington Bridge. Right? Some people are like, what's Turk 182? Turk 182, I think it was Timothy Hutton was in that movie. His brother was a firefighter. His brother was hurt or got injured, saving some kid's life, and they didn't want to give him insurance. So his brother did some bullshit. It was a movie in 1985. Who was in it? Timothy Hutton and Robert Urich were in it, and Kim Cattrall, hot Kim Cattrall, in her hot days. Damn, I forgot Robert Urich died in 2002 at 55 years old. He'd be 70 something now, and Timothy Hutton's still around. But that was a good movie for its time. Like, you watch it now, you're just like, that's dumb, but you know, like, it was a good movie for its time. That was a disgusting and revolting story. Kathy, that's the kind of shit that goes down here. When it comes to them, yo, they're the worst. They get away with a lot of shit, man. A lot of shit. And again, the stuff that was found in there, and then when they backfilled it, that was it. The story died. No one fucking got help. They're fighting with cops, fist fighting with cops on camera. No one gets arrested. I so much as go like this to a cop, I get arrested. They were fist fighting with them and nothing happened. And the problem is, guys, here's the deal. If NYPD grew a pair of balls and stood their ground against the Hasids in Brooklyn, there'd be some accountability being handed out or passed out. If people band together against them in Brooklyn, there'd be some accountabilities handed out. If people surrounded not Oval Office, I'm sorry, City Hall or Gracie Mansion and held what's his name accountable, there'd be some answering. But none of that's going on because they're going to sit there and go, what? Look at Trump did. Look what Trump did. Trump said grab him by the pussy. You know what I mean? Like, Trump says one thing, the media is going to focus on that and forget about the tunnels. Forget about the sex trafficking that was going on in those tunnels. That's where the whole thing connects. That tunnel was connected to that industry. You had evidence, you had it all there in your hands, and you let it go. You backfilled it with cement. You got rid of all the pictures you possibly can. They're trying to wipe the internet of those pictures probably as we speak. But again, if you have those pictures, hold on to them and keep passing them around when you can. But there's definitely not something up. We know what's up with that. Those people pay to have that shit disappear. As simple as that, man. Now, this video is going to get demonetized or I'm going to get assassinated. You choose. But either way, I keep talking about it because it's fucking real. I keep talking about it because these people get away with everything. Everything. You name it, they're getting away with it. And especially something like that connects that to the industry of kids disappearing. And nobody wants to look into that. Nobody looks into that, guys. It's a mind-blowing. And it's funny. People are like, oh, we want to do it for the safety of the kids, the safety of this. So the next time Eric Adams talks about the safety of kids, I'm like, what about the tunnels in Brooklyn? That's all I'm gonna bring it up. Matter of fact, I could probably just go on his Instagram and just bombard him with that shit. Yo, tunnels in Brooklyn. Jay No More, you are right. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go off the air right now because, fuck that. I'm hot, I'm tired, and I got some videos to do anyway. I got to record some shit. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning for the midweek report. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. If they haven't assassinated me yet, I'll see you guys Thursday or Friday night for the doubleheader. It's most likely going to be Thursday because I am working Friday. So I'll see you guys Thursday night for the doubleheader. All right, guys? Other than that, thank you for joining me. and see some of you guys later in the week. Thank you. Oh, but this will not be, it shouldn't be messed with on Rumble. So if they delete it off of here, it'll be on Rumble.